Gail is mad at her boyfriend for not having her back while she almost let Nathan in her behind. Captain Sandy isn't happy with anything Ian is doing, but the only thing I took away from his producer interview is that his 2 brain cells are fighting for 3rd place. Bri misplaced Gail's pants in the laundry room, and Ellie misplaced her tongue in Joe's mouth.
Oh, no. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
Welcome to Below Deck Experts. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Today we are recapping Belowdeckmed Season 9, Episode 9, This Boat's Not Big Enough for the Stew of Us. I'm going to say something here. I think they've already used this title.
It sounds very familiar.
I think that this is a repeat of a title.
Yeah.
Or they've had a title that's very similar.
Yeah.
Anybody that has the time...
Look through the episodes.
Yeah.
Let us
Prove
know.
us wrong or right.
Yeah, we can take it.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, it sounds
so familiar to me, but they've played on that word a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
So anyway, the way our episodes work, if this is your first time joining us, is that we start with a question for each other based upon this week's episode, because we don't watch them together. And then once we get into the episode, we start kind of talking about everything that went on. We stick to 2 to 4 main points throughout. Today I have Gail and her boyfriend finally break up. Yeah. We have thoughts. Ian's continued struggles with both the captain and his team.
And just life in general.
No one being on Ian's side, really.
Yeah.
And Ellie and Bri's issues finally come to a head.
Yeah.
Which needed to happen.
I'm Morgan.
And I'm Lane. And welcome to Dexter's Below.
Not a bad title. Not as good as Below Dexperts, though. Do you want to do your question first? Or you want me to?
Sure. Do you think...
Do you want this or this? Yes.
My brain heard it as, do you want to go first? But that's not what you asked.
Nope. But hit me with it.
Oh, I've had 2 glasses of wine. I'm not drunk.
I have had 2 bottles of whiskey. I'm not drunk either, okay? Below creditors.
Do you think Ellie was actually sabotaging Bri? Because this can go either way. It's a hot topic.
Like before this episode or during this episode?
I guess I'm referring to the book.
To the book?
Yeah. Or wait, am I referring, did Ellie say? Maybe I'm not. Now I'm trying to think. Was there an accusation that Ellie wrote in the book?
I made that accusation.
Okay, so then no. Yes, I'm saying like gosh, I honestly don't remember what I was referring to when I read this, but it was a specific thing.
Do you mean when Aisha was off the boat, Ellie didn't do the cabins?
Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
That's where I got confused. I remember what you said last week, and that's where my brain went. Yes, that's what I'm referring to, where did she not do the cabins on purpose?
That's a tough one, because from what we've seen, we know Ellie doesn't manage time well when it comes to I was going to say customers, to the guests. But at the same time, there's probably a little thing in the back of her head like, well, they might need another vodka soda in 5 minutes. Yeah. I probably can't do the cabins. And she made out with Joe like 2 weeks ago. So. Yeah. But I could be dead wrong. I don't know.
I know. I think this would be a good question for Aisha, because I want to know.
I want to interview her so much.
I know. I want to know, like, when Ellie, because Ellie said this at least 2, if not 3 times, that I was taking care of the guests. Mm-hmm. So I want to know when she's not taking care of the guests, because we both know that it's not she's not hanging out with them.
No.
Right? She's not a guest that's up there with them chilling and sitting. Yeah. So what else is she doing? Is she just slow on like making drinks and then cleaning that up? Like I would love to know like what other tasks is she doing that maybe she's just slow at?
Well, she set up the table, but that looked like a pretty simple table setup. And these guests don't seem like high maintenance.
No, that's the other thing. Is they aren't like, make me this, make me this, make me this.
Yeah, and they don't seem like big drinkers either. I mean,
they were like drinking normally.
But they're not like I don't even remember what season it was, but they had like a group from Texas.
The one that like slipped and fell and hit her head.
That one too.
Oh God.
But the one I was
awful.
thinking of, they're like, we're from Texas, and if my drink is empty, I'm gonna shoot you. That's not what they said. But like we've seen guests before that are like, hey, waiter.
Yeah. Oh, waiter.
Waiter. If you get that reference, I like you.
Yep. We should have a SpongeBob podcast.
We should. Oh.
How would we do that though? We should see if there's any out there. Has anybody thought of that?
If you're watching SpongeBob for the first time, it's
Right.
started in
But
1999.
We're only covering, from 99 to like 2007.
Yeah, after that, it's for the birds.
Anyways, did you answer my question?
I hope not. No,
Oh yeah, like you don't really know.
I don't really know. I think a little bit, but there's nothing that can prove that she did.
Right. Again, I think the only person that could like rationally give us, again, like, I guess rationale would be Aisha. Aisha would be the only one to be like, this is what I think she was doing. This is why I've watched her and she's not very fast at this and this and this. And if those tasks weren't something she would be busy with, then yeah, like maybe she did actually say, or she was setting up Bri to fail. Maybe she didn't sabotage her completely, but she's like, I'm going to give her this shit. Because she's also so still stuck on, you're the third stew. Here's the exact way she's treating her, as if she's a senior and Bri's a freshman. Mm-hmm. And it's so high school. That's like the perfect example, because when you're that age, you're immature. Like, I almost give seniors and freshmen a pass for that because they're so young and stupid.
Yeah.
Ellie doesn't get a pass. Like, but that's how she's acting. She's acting like she's the 18-year-old senior and she's picking on the 15-year-old freshman, and that makes you look so stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
As soon as you turn like 20, you're like, wow, that was fucking dumb.
Exactly. Good
but she's
people.
like my age.
Right.
47. But yeah, originally I was going to say like, well, Aisha wouldn't really know because at the end of the episode, she's like, I wasn't there for it.
Yeah.
I don't know who to believe. But she would know what's like normal for a stew, what's normal for Ellie, how she works, how she ticks, what was going on the boat that day.
Yeah.
So,
and then
Aisha, let us know.
Right. I mean, then Bri didn't do herself any favors by blowing up. Like, I get where Bri was coming from. I probably would have done the same thing. If I'm being honest, I would have been like, you've pushed me to the edge and now I'm going to freak out. Yeah. But she didn't do herself any favors, because then all Ellie focused on from there is like, you don't talk to me that way. You're being disrespectful. It didn't even become about what it was. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She fell back on like,
you're disrespectful.
Yeah, she fell back on like, well, I don't have any more points, so I'm second stew. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes, yeah.
Basically what you just said, but then I said it.
Yep, thank you. Mansplaining.
Sorry. So my question is with Ian.
Oh, no.
So he got a talking to from Sandy. And then in his interview, he's basically like, I'm working super hard and she just wants me to work harder and be better than perfect that I already am. But then he like goes home after dinner, doesn't drink. What do you think's going through his head? Yeah. Which way is he leaning?
So here's what I think is happening. And again, total speculation. I don't know Ian. He's not super confident. But in those producer interviews, he's trying to act like he is. Yeah. And so I think he knows in the back of his mind, like, he's messed up and he kind of continues to. But he can't, for whatever reason, can't fully accept or like take blame. Because I think if he actually took blame, he'd get better. Oh, like, it's like one of those things where it's like, the more you deny, you're not giving yourself the chance to like learn and grow and be better. And so he's in this like kind of like middle ground where he, in the back of his mind, knows, yeah, I've messed up. I've looked stupid in certain things, but I can't admit that I'm the bosun. Like, I have to give off this, that I know what I'm doing. So does that answer your question? I think the reason he went back, because in his head, he was like, I do need to get my shit together, but he couldn't say that out loud. So he said something like, well, I have to prove to Sandy I'm a good bosun. Like, he's still falling back on like the sarcasm and like still playing it off when it's just like, can you just admit it? Kind of like Gail. Can you just admit it? And then we can move on.
Yeah.
Can you just admit you didn't want to be with her boyfriend and move on? But she can't. It's kind of like the same, mindset, you know?
Yeah. I think Ian's very prideful and very stubborn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my take on
Sorry,
that.
I just mansplained again.
Speaking of Ian, we start this episode with, can he not see?
He might have the same situation I have
Did
going on.
he lose his glasses a year ago and not replace them?
Yeah, I did that.
Because that's actually what you would have done. You would have been like, there's nobody there. And
I can't see him.
Gail would have been like, no, there's people there. And you'd be like, no, I don't see them. And you wouldn't have been lying.
Yeah.
You can't see them.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what the hell that is over there, but it's looking at me.
The lamp.
That's a lamp. Yeah, I've gone officially 1 year without seeing.
Yeah.
Going for 5. No, I'm kidding.
So Captain gets pissed about this, and I said, Captain just does not like Ian, but I don't think I should have worded it that way. I think she's just so frustrated with him. She's like, I can't trust you in a way.
Yeah. Well, she can't. I mean, the most important thing for a bosun, I would know, I've spent many years on boats, is calling out, because she can only see half of the ship.
Right.
He needs to be her eyes on the other half.
Well, the other thing, too, is like they are moving towards this dock.
Yeah.
There is a problem if there's no one there to throw lines to.
Yeah.
Then she has to start, like, reversing. Yeah, right? That's how it goes, right? We know.
We've been on boats. I own many boats. I drove one here. Power steering's out. It's great.
But
it's actually not a lie. My power steering is out.
In your car?
Uh-huh.
How does that even work? How do you even drive it? With a lot of strength?
Yeah. You should see my fucking forearms.
Does Dad know?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't think...
No, he put more fluid in, but apparently I have a leak, so I got to talk to him.
Lane's car is like 1,000 years old. He
it's like to get 3 years younger than me. It's fine.
But yeah, he has, and Gail even says it, he has a lack of accountability, and we're just going to kind of see that play out through this. I asked you this last week. I don't see him lasting the whole season. Not with the way it's going.
No, unless something more dramatic comes up, he's gone.
No, if something does, I feel like Captain Sandy's close. She hasn't said it, because I have my note in here is Captain Sandy's going to fire Ian on the spot. Like, she was so mad.
She was close.
I was like, when I watched it, I was like, I wouldn't even doubt if she fired him on the spot.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact conversation, but did she say, like, this is your final warning or anything like that?
Well, no, I don't think so.
I don't think she did either.
Yeah, I think I would have wrote that down, because I said, basically, like, when they had the conversation, which was right at the beginning of the episode, I put, Ian literally takes no responsibility. Like, in his meeting with her, he's like, yep, okay. And then he does the interview, and he's like, I'm doing fine, but I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I said, my note is like, you are lucky that Sandy is trying to help you.
Yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating to me is, like, we watch Captain Sandy, because she could just call him in there and like, discipline him. Yeah. But every time she calls him in there, she's like, hey, this is the problem. Like, this is what you need to fix. Like, she gives I think, very constructive criticism. Mm-hmm. And she's done it, I think, at least 3 times now. Yeah. And he just won't accept it. And so that's why I think Sandy's going to maybe ultimately fire him, because she's going to be like, hey, I gave you opportunities. I gave you feedback. I gave you chances, and it was never received.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of, like, my boss at work. She's like, come to work. And I'm like, fuck you.
She's like, I literally just need you to show up. And you're like, no.
But yeah, I think she has enough grounds to fire him if he messes up again.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I'm with you. I think he's gonna mess up again,
I know.
and I don't think he's gonna survive the charter.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill him.
So then, Aisha asked Bri about the book. Okay, that was our cliffhanger from last week.
Yeah.
I said, oh no, it actually was a burn book, kind of.
Yeah.
It wasn't completely innocent like I was thinking it was. Basically, Bri says she just wanted a record in case Ellie came to her, or I guess was going after her and like sabotaging her. She just wanted basically to have the evidence to give Aisha, but it sounds like she wasn't going to proactively give the information to Aisha. She was going to reactively give the information to Aisha.
Yeah, my exact note is Bri says it wasn't a burn book and goes on to say that it was the definition of a burn book.
But yeah, I guess, because here's the truth about the burn book and Mean Girls. They never meant it to get out. I don't know if you've watched the movie or if it's been a long time.
Have I watched the movie?
Yeah,
I
sorry.
grew up with you.
I know that's true. I've no lie. I've probably watched Mean Girls upwards of 200 times.
I've watched it probably 198 times.
Yep, exactly. But anybody that's seen Mean Girls actually was not meant to get out, and so you're right. Bri's book was the definition of a burn book because it was hers. She didn't mean for it to get out, and it did. They were never going to they were just being mean. Well, I guess I shouldn't, they aren't identical. Bri wasn't just being mean. She was putting evidence in there. So this wasn't Bri's like just mean, but this wasn't her like voodoo to Ellie or whatever. Like it was just, here's the things that have happened.
Yeah, it was kind of like almost like screenshotting text messages.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
This person did this at this time and this day.
And you don't have any plans to send it to anybody.
But you will.
But you will if you need to.
If you're in a corner. I don't know what voice that is. It goes between Trump and a guy from New Jersey.
Yeah. Mom just texted me and she said, "What's your team name for volleyball? Do you want to know what our team name is this weekend?"
Let me guess.
It's pretty good.
I can't think of anything funny.
That has to do with volleyball.
Yeah, I know about volleyball. There's a ball and a net. The net ballers.
Nope.
Nope.
You ready to give up?
Yep.
Spike Tyson's.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, right?
Spike Tyson.
Kara thought of it.
You got to say it like that, though.
That's what somebody said on our team. They're like, we have to talk with a lisp the whole time, the whole day.
That's my ball. That's my ball.
Oh, man. We were talking about the burn book. So that's basically it. And then we figure out that Captain Sandy's going to ask Leah to marry her. And I just said that last week, how they're like married now, but they weren't even engaged at that time.
That's getting stronger.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that is really cool. And it was cool that she told Aisha, and
I know.
Aisha was excited about it, and Sandy was like, she has no idea. She thought I would never propose.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's so, I don't know. That just makes me feel so happy because it's like because I kind of always thought that about myself. I never really envisioned myself getting married. Mm-hmm. It's not that I was completely against marriage. I was never that girl that dreamed about getting married and having kids.
I was that girl.
Lane was that girl, not me. I never played with like dolls. I played with brats. If anybody knows what brats are.
There is a big difference. They have a lot more attitude.
I was going to say, I think I would love to do a study on the girls that played with like baby dolls and Barbies versus the girls that play with brats. And like, where are those girls that play with the brats dolls? Because that's me.
Can I also have that study and avoid the ones that played with brats?
No, the ones that played with brats are the good ones.
They're the ones that'll hit you with a car.
Oh my God. No, not me. I won't hit you with a car.
You have.
Well,
you were drunk. You don't remember it. Tell
me in the comments. This will literally be only for like people, basically females around my age. It would be like age 26, maybe your age-ish, 26, 27, to like 32, 33. Did you play with Bratz dolls? And did you think they were better than Barbies? Because they were. I barely had any Barbies. How did we even get on this topic? You had GI. No idea. Lane had those plastic totes that people have, like the ones you like store things in. Mm-hmm. Lane had like 2 or 3 of those totes completely full of wrestling action figures.
Hell yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. You think I'm exaggerating right now?
I wish I still did.
I'm not.
They'd be worth a lot more money now.
Do you? In mom and dad's storage, maybe?
No, I sold them.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Dang. Swear to God, though, I'm not exaggerating. They were full. He had, like, how many is that? 300?
Yeah, and they were all $10 a pop, so
Yeah.
do that math.
You know that, like, 75% were bought by grandma and grandpa.
Yeah, if not more.
If not more.
Yeah.
We are way off topic. We haven't even gotten into this episode, really.
Barely gotten into it.
We're sorry, guys. I feel like we haven't seen each other it's at least been since we recorded last week.
Yeah.
So we definitely talk to each other once a week.
Yeah, you dropped
here.
something off at my house, but you had to go.
Yeah, I was only there for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But you can always tell when we've not seen each other versus like when we've seen each other.
You can also tell like that, and if we both had like stressful weeks, we're both drinking.
Yeah, that's true. We drink on this podcast, 25% of the time?
If that,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so you know that if we are drinking, we've had a week.
Yeah.
And we've both had a week.
Yeah, I've had a couple weeks.
So yeah. But what's next? I guess we get into Gail and her boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, the guests leave.
Go to they're like, don't they go with Aisha shopping? Oh yeah, they go shopping.
No, the first guests.
Oh, see, I'm way off.
For some reason, I swear to God.
No, we are not there. Because my next note is they're going to the place with really good dance. Oh, you're right. You're right. I was misreading my own note. I put they're going to the place with the really good dancing and they're having a white party. That's when they go out. That's when the crew goes out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like confused myself basically.
Yeah, the last thing can't believe you wrote down bad notes.
God, get it together.
Get it together, woman. The last thing we talked about was the docking, and then that was when the guests were leaving.
I don't even remember. I didn't write the tip down. Did you?
I literally wrote everything down. I spent 2 hours watching this episode.
Why?
No idea.
Well, then you lead this one because clearly my notes are not great.
I didn't write anything down.
Oh my God.
The tip meeting first, like, you know how Sandy goes through, like, you guys did this good, but we could improve on this. She pulls another, like, hey, Ian. Just
see me in my office.
See me in my office. And you're like,
Is that the second time she's done that to him?
She did it. No, she did it to Jono first.
Oh, you're right. That's what it was. You did great, and you did great, and I love you. See me in my office.
See me in my office.
I remember that. It was even worse with him, though. Poor guy.
Was, because he actually felt bad about it.
Right.
So the tip was $22,000.
Okay.
A bit above average.
Yeah.
So we're at Ian on the bridge.
Yeah.
We already talked
about that.
Night out, white party. Mm-hmm. So yeah, now we're at your notes.
Okay.
Take it away.
My next note, Gail's boyfriend texting her and she's not saying anything back. I think it's hard to know, right? Are these actual text messages?
Yeah.
Would Gail give her complete phone to the producers to completely copy? Probably not. But basically it's making her boyfriend look like, hey, you're not talking to me, barely responding to my texts, not talking to me throughout the day or whatever.
Not saying I love you back.
I love you back. And he's like, let's just end it. And I felt bad. Again, I hope this isn't completely like fake. But I felt really bad for him because I'm like, I feel like I know how he's feeling. Like, hey, why are you doing this to me? You know?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, he could be made up for all we know.
Right. He might not be a real person.
Maybe not. But like, at this point in the saga of whatever that is with Gail, her boyfriend, and Nathan, they make him out to be a bad guy. Did he do much wrong?
From the text messages they're showing us, he did not.
And then
he wasn't like, hey, talk to me. Wasn't calling her names.
Yeah.
Wasn't being like, you need to call me before you go out. Like, we never saw that. And here's why I think we're more right in assuming that. Mm-hmm. Is that when Gail gets upset which is basically where we're at. She gets upset at the dinner table and like starts crying and leaves, and Aisha follows her. And then she's basically telling Aisha, like, I did everything I could. Like, I would call him. And then they're kind of showing us clips of her calling him.
Great clips.
Yeah, they showed us these clips to make us feel like, okay, maybe Gail has a point here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we've been seeing her with Nathan. Like, it's not like she's completely innocent. But then when she's talking to Nathan later, she doesn't say any of that. She says, he noticed I wasn't saying I love you back. Which is how I know, because how awkward is it if someone says, good night, I love you, and you say good night?
Yeah.
It's very clear.
You're not going to sleep that night.
Right. Like,
yeah. And the other thing, one of her big points was like, I was trying my best. Like, I texted him in the morning when I woke up and before I went to bed. 2 text messages.
I know. And that's where I'm like, well, I can't really fault anybody for that, because I think, and this is just me, my opinion, everybody's range of communication is so different.
Yeah.
Like, I'm at a point with Brad, like, if that was it, I get it.
Does he still live here?
So, or like, I also know people that like, their husband calls them on every single one of his breaks, and he, at work. So they'll talk on the phone 4 times a day, and they live with each other.
Fucking
so
Andrew. We won't.
Good thing he doesn't listen.
Yeah. No, I'll
acts
tell him
like he
that to
does.
his face.
So I can't judge anybody on their communication. If both people are on the same page with like they want to talk on the phone 4 times a day, great on you.
But they weren't on the same page.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry,
so it's like,
I just kind of took the...
No, yeah, no, it's
okay.
fine. But that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I believe him a little bit more than her. I know he's not even a real person. We've never seen him. Not a real person.
But... AI generated.
Oh, Ian leaves after dinner. We already kind of said that. Here's my next note. Ready? Ellie is such a bitch. Just kissing Joe on the dance floor. It's such a power move and such a bitch move, man.
The one thing I want to add before that happens, which I totally agree with you about. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was kind of a bitch. The fucking another awkward ass cringy thing
Ian?
I did not want to see was it wasn't Ian.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure he did something stupid. But it was Ellie's like, I took a really good photo and I just want to post it. And in my head, I'm like, just fucking post it.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't pick up on that.
But she shows Joe, and I don't even want to say this in front of you.
Oh, no.
He's like, oh. I can't do his voice.
I was going to say, I do not even know his accent. There's no way.
I was going to try and freeball it, but I can't. I can't remember his accent. He's like, can I put that in my wank bank?
Oh, I don't remember this at all.
And then she's like, yeah, you can put it there. And I'm like,
gross.
God.
Okay, so that kind of plays into my next note, which is in all caps. It says, in the car with Bri, fuck both of them, Joe included.
Yeah, fuck both of you.
I'm sorry.
Fuck the driver too.
No, I said, now this proves to me they deserve each other.
Yeah.
I'm completely in the camp of Bri, stay away. Like, you do not want that man. That man is an asshole who has no regard for you being in the car. Because even if he would have went with Ellie, which doesn't make him a complete asshole, right? He could still...
He was okay up until that point.
That's where it switched to me, where I'm like, yeah, no, I have nothing for you. Because how easy is it, and I don't care how drunk you were, I don't care, how easy is it for you to say, not in the car with Bri?
Yeah, I could be hammered and I can't fucking see. If I got into that van, I'd
literally
be like, that's Bri, just gonna sit and relax.
Yes, yeah, like, I can wait 5 minutes.
I can wait fucking 5 minutes to make out with this girl, yeah.
So,
boy.
I know. My next note is Jono is like awkward. Was he in the car too? I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was.
Because like, how awkward is that?
Yeah, you're just the guy getting a ride home.
I know. Oh God. Now he's one of my favorite people.
I do like Jono.
And Aisha, of course.
Well, yeah.
Anyone who Aisha likes is okay.
Aisha could
book.
do anything. It would be like Team Aisha.
She didn't kill those people.
No, she just ran them over and then
Yes.
they died later.
Oh, then we see Nate and Gail kissing, and they say there's no camera and there's clearly a camera.
Yeah, do they have the same thing going on with their eyes?
Can they not see? Because
like-
he looked, well, here's my thought is that Nathan knew there was a camera because he looked right in it.
Yeah, he did.
That would be like a camera being on the corner of the TV and like me looking at you and then looking there and then looking there and then being like, that's not a TV.
And being like, am I right? Like a fucking office, Jim from The Office, just...
Right, looking right into the camera.
Yeah.
God.
Comedy.
So, back to Ellie and Bri.
Oh boy.
No, back at the boat, Bri approached her in their room and she said, hey, I don't care that you're with him. But
Yeah.
like, that was shitty that you did that in the car or the van. And she's like, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
That was the most, like, healthy conversation I think I've ever seen on Below Deck.
I know, I was
that
like...
didn't involve a captain.
Do you know how easy it could be for them to just be like that all the time?
Pretty easy, but it wouldn't be that fun to watch for 90% of the
It would be
audience.
for me.
Yeah, I'd be
'Cause
like,
I
people
love stuff
getting
like
along
that.
on a boat? Great.
I need that in my life. That's why Ted Lasso is my favorite show. Because everything ends up okay.
Yeah.
Like, everything. There's no... Well, even some of the darkest pieces, like, it's okay. It's all going to be okay. I love that.
I know.
So I'd watch a very boring boat show.
That's why my favorite show is Psych. They get into semantics. Sean does this little thing, and then everything's okay at the end of the day.
Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with, like, Bob's Burgers.
Oh, yeah. Great show.
Everything's always fine.
It's fine.
Linda's great.
Yeah.
She's
Linda's
so great.
mom.
I know.
Yeah. Linda is mom.
Linda's so great. And then why can't I think of the oldest daughter's name? Tina. Tina's also great. I don't care.
Yeah.
I love them all because I love the youngest daughter too.
Yeah, you're a mix between the two sisters, and I'm Gene.
Yeah.
Just a
God.
dumb kid picking stuff out of his belly button.
I want to watch Bob's Burgers after this. Brad and I have been binging Game of Thrones for like the second time. We've already seen it. But Bob's Burgers is such a different vibe.
Oh, it is. That's like my show if I'm really, really not feeling good.
I know. Bob's Burgers.
I know this show will do what I need it to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Modern Family can do that too.
Yeah. I don't have the emotional connection I have with Bob's Burgers.
I have an emotional connection with Modern Family. I owned all the seasons on DVD before you could stream.
Did. Yeah.
Degrassi, The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Also, oh my gosh, love that show. Loved that show. I just would rewatch them in my room.
Yep. Yeah.
We weren't allowed to have cable in our room when we were kids, so we only had a TV, but it could only have a DVD player, which is actually cool. You know,
I was just gonna say,
great.
smart move by mom and dad.
Still great. So yeah, we would have to buy movies
DVD sets
and TV show DVD sets. I wish we could go back. You know.
Yeah, and stay there.
Yeah, let's stay there.
Yep.
Anyway, the next charter has some dietary restrictions. Yeah, the next charter, they're like reviewing the preference sheet, and it just seems like they're going to have a little bit of issues with the food, but that doesn't end up happening. Well, I guess we don't know for sure yet.
Yeah, I wrote another Floridian in all caps. They do not represent America.
No, they don't. Florida, man. The only thing good they have is the ocean. They have the mosquitoes, only bigger. And then they have the no-see-ums.
They got Buc-ee's.
You're right. They got that one on us. We have Casey's.
Yeah,
It's tough, right? They're
That's
both
tough.
great for different things.
I would have a hard time if you were like
Buc-ee's or Casey's?
Buc-ee's or Casey's.
I wouldn't know. I've never been to a Buc-ee's.
Casey's Pizza. I gotta go with Casey's.
Still, even though Buc-ee's, I've never been to Buc-ee's. I can't
Buc-ee's
say.
is a vibe, and the food's great, but Casey's Pizza just hits every single time.
I don't care what you say. I have been a lot of places in this world, and I love donuts. And I always get donuts wherever I'm at. Never have beaten Casey's.
No.
Never. Casey's donuts are the best donuts I've ever had, and I've been to a lot of donut places.
And we're biased because we grew up on it. We have a lot of good memories with Casey's, but the pizza fucking slaps.
I know. Okay. If you're from the Midwest, you understand.
Yeah.
If you're not from the Midwest and you ever come here,
Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
go get Casey's pizza and a Casey's donut.
Yeah.
Will you shit your pants the next day?
Yes.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
You might.
You will.
But it'll be worth it. You won't regret it.
Just wear some old underwear.
Yeah. Or just set the day aside, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Have a shit day.
yeah. I've been there. I was
Yeah.
like, this has to be this and it can't be anything else.
I mean, I had that today. And
Okay.
I'm surprised you haven't smelled it yet.
We need to take a 5-minute break.
Be right back.
All right, we got to get back on track
We'll
here.
keep her right here. We'll keep her right here.
So my next note's about Gail and her boyfriend, but I'm like over it. Let's finish the whole Gail and her boyfriend conversation. Like,
They broke up. Her and Nathan are gonna hook up.
she's
Who
trying
gives
to
a
place
fuck?
blame on him, and I said, "Girl, stop. Do you know he's going to watch this show?"
Yeah.
You cannot sit there and say these things and then know, this was recorded. It's going to be shown on TV.
Yeah. The millions of people.
You can't cheat on a normal person can cheat on their boyfriend, and their boyfriend will never be able to completely visualize what happened, right?
That's a really good way to put it.
But you know what? In this circumstance,
Yep.
he will know.
HD. Caught in 4K.
So yeah, that's how we feel about that.
Yeah. Whatever we were talking about before.
Exactly. Again, my next note is like more laundry drama. Bri messes up Sandy's laundry again. I think this is what I was referring to with Ellie sabotaging her. Was she messing with the laundry?
That is another 50-50 where I'm like, either Bri is just not that great at what she's doing, or Ellie's kind of fucking around with shit.
Yeah. Either Ellie is doing it on purpose, or to Ellie, she doesn't think she's messing anything up. She thinks she's helping, legit.
Yeah, but there was that one point where Bri was like, I have my different piles. Don't touch my piles. And that doesn't sound like something in a laundry room that's very productive.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. And then I have Ellie's just the worst. Bri is crying, and she's like, well, everything's recorded, so we'll watch it back. Is this when the issue happens?
She broke the fourth wall.
What do you mean? Oh, like talked about how it's a show.
Yeah.
It's true. She did.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if you could just show compassion in like one little ounce, it wouldn't have gotten to this point.
No.
But Ellie refuses to show compassion towards Bri.
Yeah, but then she like breaks down if Aisha's like, hey, what the fuck? She's like,
But Bri's doing all of this.
yeah, but like Bri's fucking up.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, she's allowed to. She's not the second stew.
Clearly she's the freshman, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so the reason I wrote that was because Ellie goes to the crew mess and is like bitching to Joe and Nathan.
Yeah.
And then Nathan literally calls her ruthless. And he's has a hint of seriousness there. He's like laughing about it, but he means it.
Yeah.
Like, you're ruthless, bro. Like, she's crying.
Yeah.
You could just be nice to her.
And then doesn't Nathan after that go and give Bri a hug in laundry?
He does.
Yeah.
He does. I didn't even kind of put that together, but like, yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. He's like 70% good guy.
Yeah. Anything else with that? Then we kind of go into like Ellie making drinks for the guests, and they're like kind of putting her to the test because they're ordering like different kinds of drinks.
Is this after? Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And doesn't the one guest, she's like, I used to be a bartender. And that's like where they're like testing her.
I don't remember.
So I think that's where we're at. And
Okay.
I wrote down, I used to drive cars for a living, but I don't think I can make it on the NASCAR circuit. I worked for a rental car company.
That's true. That's a
Yeah.
very good point.
So fuck off.
It's true. I'm sure. So my best friend, like, she's Lane's friend too. She's a bartender, and she's been a bartender in like Nashville at like the big bars. And it's funny like that there is different levels of bartender.
Mm-hmm.
That like there's the one that works here in our tiny little town and serves like 3 people a night maybe.
Yeah.
And then there's
Maybe 4.
and then there's the Nashville bartender that serves like thousands of people a night.
Yeah.
Crazy. So yeah, there's different levels.
Yeah, and then there's levels above that.
Like what?
Like working on a super yacht.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if you could throw Aisha into like Kid Rock's in Nashville though.
I think she'd be fine. It would be more of like getting acclimated to like the pace rather than quality.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
You need more speed than quality when you work at a huge bar in downtown Nashville.
Exactly, because the bars like that don't even make like drinks. They'll make you like a rum and coke. Mm-hmm. They'll make you like 1 liquor, 1 mixer, that's it. They won't make you like a margarita, for example, or
which
like
is smart,
right?
I mean, yeah.
So yes, there is a difference. There's a craft bartender who bartends at this like little tiny bar, but it's like so good and their drinks are so just advanced.
Is that on the are you talking about where she used to work?
Who? My friend?
Yeah.
What other bar are you referring to?
To like was the little like craft bar on the 2nd floor?
No.
Oh, you're talking about something else?
Yeah, no, I'm just using it as a general example.
Oh, okay.
Of like, there's like that type of bartender that makes Manhattans and different smoked old fashions and stuff. Then there's giant bars like Kid Rock's and
drinks.
Yeah, giving you 12 Bud Lights at a time.
Yeah,
you know?
And doing the like.
You know, I don't really know why we had to feel like we had to prove this point.
I think we're just talking.
You might have just heard my cats fighting in the background.
Yeah. There's that too.
So, yeah, this is when the guests go shopping. And I feel like Aisha's just living her best life.
Yeah, pretty much.
So great. Then Bri's talking with the captain about Ellie. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
I think Bri's at her breaking point.
I think so too.
Like we said earlier.
Yep. I think Bri's at the point where she's like, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah. And they even have the conversation like, are you going to quit? And Bri's like, I'm not going to quit, but this sucks.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically.
And that's when I think, she's telling the truth. Like she doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a lot. It's like a lot getting to her. And then, yeah, Captain basically said, like, gives her like a pep talk, like, you can do this, girl.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, Bri gets back at it. And then this is where we have the issue we talked about at the beginning. We don't need to re-talk about, like, Ellie takes a break, tells Bri that she didn't get to the cabins. Bri freaks out then. She's like, you're, like, not serious right now. Like, you did everything else but clean the cabins, which is basically, like, what it should be number 1 on the list.
The first thing, yeah.
Right. Which is true, right? Imagine those guests coming back and their rooms weren't clean.
There would be hell to pay.
When you know that's a super yacht standard, you would get mad if it's not done.
Yeah, even like a nice hotel, you're
right.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's just what we've learned. We've just come to learn, right? Because nobody does that to my room every night.
Yeah, I fucking wish.
Yeah, and this is where I put like Ellie just loves that she is seconds to, and she can't get enough of being a superior to Bri.
At some point Ellie goes, I expect an apology when I come back, or I'm going straight to Captain Sandy.
And Bri's like, good, please do it, go.
And my reaction was, gross. Ew. I think I did that pretty well.
That was pretty good. That's a Shane Gillis impression of him doing Trump.
Thank you for gross. Ew.
It's like, yeah, doing 2 impressions at the same time.
Yeah. An impression of an impression of an impression. So
yeah, this is basically this is the big like build up thing. Now Aisha and Captain are navigating the situation. And then my next note is like, I feel Bri's pain because Ellie's default is talking about her disrespect. Like,
yeah.
So they're in this meeting with Captain Sandy. That's basically where we're at. We're at the meeting, right?
Yeah, can I just add one more thing before we go to that?
No. Moving on. No, what is it?
So Aisha and Captain Sandy are talking, right?
Yes.
Before that, okay. Captain Sandy basically says there are always three sides to a story, and she doesn't elaborate on that, but I know what she means. It's Bri's side, Ellie's sides, and Bri's side, Ellie's side, and the truth.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's so wise.
It is.
That's
Because it's
such a-
true. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to put that in because I really liked that.
Yeah. Because it's true. Like, even I found myself, when Captain Sandy said that, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, not considering that neither one of them is being completely honest. Like, we are seeing what's happening, but it's like, we still don't know.
This whole episode is just like back and forth between like Ellie, Bri.
Yeah.
It's mostly this way with Bri, but you know,
Yeah.
not impossible.
But no, the point I was gonna make with them in the meeting, the three of them, Bri, Ellie, and Captain Sandy, is like Bri gets a little bit heated, which again I totally related to, because like I don't think I could sit there and be calm, because I don't think that would accurately convey to Captain Sandy how pissed off I am. Like, and how
that is
much,
a very good way to put it.
right? Because if I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay, Captain Sandy's not gonna think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah,
So-
she's gonna think that you are like, well, she's kind of telling the truth. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and spin something in my head.
Right. So Bri's reacting again how I think I would. And then
Because you can only hold so much back.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you can just tell it's like raw emotion from her.
Yeah.
And like Captain Sandy's listening to her. And then what does Ellie say? Captain Sandy, you shouldn't let her talk to you like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Eat it.
Gross.
Ew.
Ew.
Seriously. Come on. That is so, oh God, it's so infuriating.
I would. Oh, if I was Captain Sandy, I'd be
I'd be like,
I don't
you-
even care who's right, but
You're
like,
get out of
get
my
the fuck out of here.
right.
You suck.
Those type of people, that's your immediate reaction to them. You're like, gross, ew.
Gross. Ew.
Yeah. So then they cut us off. That's basically the end.
Yeah.
The coming up on is to be continued.
To be contended.
Wow, guys, that was a roller coaster.
It was.
That was crazy.
It is now 8:50. I got here at 7 on the dot.
No, you did not.
No, I did not.
About 7:30.
About 7:30-ish.
Yeah, ish. If you are still here, you took this journey with us, and we hope you had as much fun as we did, because this one was fun.
This was a very fun episode.
Very fun.
We had some technical difficulties. There were some cats in here earlier.
There was. Yeah, they might be in here still. Not sure.
Don't know.
What's our secret word? I feel like we have so many options from what we talked about in the episode.
Give me some options.
Well, now I can't remember any of them.
I put you on the spot.
I meant to type them, and I don't have anything typed. I know we talked about like DVDs and stuff, like different, like Modern Family, Degrassi. We talked about.
We did. Yeah.
What else did we talk about?
We talked about like literally everything besides Below Deck. I'm really interested to see how long this episode is.
We can't remember anything we talked about.
You know what? Your shirt is like the exact color of a Nickelodeon VHS tape.
Okay, it is. You're right.
Nickelodeon VHS tape.
Yep. Wow, we're
Secret
really
word.
throwing it at you. We will really know who watched to the
Yeah.
end, because there's no guessing on this one.
No.
We just have one announcement. Of course, we want to thank you. We love you. We haven't said that in a couple episodes. We usually used to say that after every episode. To thank you to everybody that listens. We know
Thank
that
you.
like we have people, more and more people kind of coming up to us that we know saying that they watch it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But we love everybody that's been here from the beginning and everybody that's new. So that being said, we do have a announcement, which we said we would have last week, which we followed through, guys. We are going to do a live on August 9th at 7 p.m. Central Time. So that's like, I guess a week from today.
Sure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a week from today. We will be doing a live 7 p.m. Central. I'm so pumped about this, to be honest. We're going to do a Hot Ones.
Oh,
So
I forgot about this.
So yeah, we're going to cook wings, and then we have like 6 different sauces that like go up in temperature.
Yeah, and we're both big on like spicy stuff.
Yeah.
And the first one is like it's hot ones.
Yeah.
The last sauce I am terrified of.
I kind of am too. But
It's like 9 million Scoville.
I know.
That's gonna suck.
It's gonna.
But we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
And we hope you guys are there.
I know. So what we'll do is we'll do that. And my husband will probably like come up with like, we'll try to kind of do like a mock hot ones. We're not
Yeah.
gonna like do it as intense. I feel like hot ones episodes are so intense.
Yeah, it's like
Dun, dun, dun. That's like kind of music they use.
they do.
I'm like, this guy's a good interviewer, but the music is making me feel like he's not.
Yeah, I wish he had more of a hand in editing because
Yes.
it'll be like dun 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 dun. So what's your favorite color?
Yeah, I know. It's very weird. So we're not going to be as intense. We will make it more lighthearted, but we're going to do a Hot Ones challenge with you guys next week, the 9th at 7 p.m. Central.
And if you have any questions you want us to answer,
Oh, yeah.
put them in the comments.
Perfect. You have a week to do that.
Yeah.
And we will be live on both YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
So we hope to see you there.
Yeah.
And we love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.